I saw a clip where Paul Messi was talking about Jackson, Palmer, and why Palmer and Jackson need each other, why they play best together, and why that's why Palmer is not playing well. Possibly that's what he's saying, and it makes sense a bit. Palmer and Jackson played together for about 2 seasons, and Palmer had a very brilliant 2 years. Jackson did very much okay, just that he missed a lot of chances. But I don't agree with it at all. First of all, I think for Messi, he likes Jackson. He's a bit biased towards Jackson because I remember during the summer transfer window when it was about to close, he was speaking about some players, and one time he spoke about Jackson and was like he's surprised that no Premier League club is trying to sign him from Chelsea as a striker when clubs like Newcastle were going for Temada and some other clubs were signing strikers, and he was now like calling it a coin flip, that they would rather flip a coin than sign a Premier League player in Jackson. So I think there's a bit of bias here first of all. If you like the video, support the channel by leaving a like, follow or subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you. Palmer and Jackson played together for 2 years. The first season, no European football for Chelsea, and I think they played the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, but they got to the final of the FA Cup. They didn't go far in the League Cup. They barely played 2 games a week, so they were able to rest, take like 4 or 5 days before playing their next game, and were able to come back and play their best again. But then the second season, Chelsea were in Europe playing Conference League, and this time Chelsea are using their second squad for the Conference League. Neither of them, Palmer and Jackson, are starting. It was until round of 16 of quarterfinal before Palmer started making appearances in the Conference League, and Jackson didn't play till like quarterfinal. So over the 2 years they played together, they barely played in Europe. They barely had midweek games. They were just playing mostly on the weekend and having a lot of time to rest. Palmer's first 2 seasons, he barely had he didn't have any long-term injury at all, so it didn't affect his playing time. He was able to play and play. And for Jackson had an injury early 2025, where he was out for some games. I don't remember how many games exactly, but I remember before he went out for that injury, he had 9 Premier League goals. He came back, and after coming back, he played like almost 10 Premier League games, scored 1 goal against Everton, and that was all. And during that same period, Palmer also was blank. So the both of them, they kept starting together. There was no product. They were barely able to score or assist. And in my opinion, I would say that just they were on poor form during that period. 2025, Palmer didn't have a good start to the year. He had a good Club World Cup and then got injured, and that's why there are a lot of questions as to why he was added to the FIFA best 11. So I don't think it's a case of Palmer needing Jackson or Jackson needing Palmer. I think that they are both very good players, but this season Palmer has been affected a lot by injuries. And Paul Messi spoke about how saying that Jackson makes striker movement and Jackson is always up there. But that's also not true. Jackson is not a natural striker. Jackson comes back to play the ball a lot. I remember Palmer's goal against Bournemouth. From the middle of the pitch, Jackson took on about 2 players, then gave a very good pass to Palmer, and that's just one of many. There was a goal scored against West Ham from almost halfway the middle of the pitch. That's where he ran and scored that goal. So Jackson is not the striker that will always be up there. He plays very similar to Pedro. He comes back a lot to play the ball. When the cross is about to come in, he goes into the box. So for me, the arguments are not valid at all. And of course, these comparisons are coming in hindsight. When Pedro had a very good Club World Cup, no one was asking if he's going to combine well with Palmer, if he makes striker movements. But now, Palmer has been injured for a while, and Palmer has struggled. Pedro has done very well. And I think what they're even talking about is mostly the lap. They're arguing about the lap because I remember someone was saying Pedro is doing well for us, and the Chelsea fan was not like, leave Pedro out of this, that is the lap. But in the 2 years where Jackson played here, he has been our main striker and scored 24 Premier League goals. Then now, Pedro right now is our main striker, so he's the one we should be comparing to Jackson. He's the one getting the stats. He's the one starting the most games as a centre forward. So he's the one we compare to Jackson, not the lap. The lap, how many games has he started? Has he had up to 4 or 5 starts in a row? No. He has had the injury, got suspended, then injury again. So Delap has not been able to get a very good run of games. In order to compare him to Jackson, he needs to start as many games.